Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to this video. I just want to say today is going to be a great day for you. I want to talk about this book that I just recently finished reading called Daring Greatly, and it is about vulnerability. And okay, so I am not the most emotional person. I am not the most vulnerable person. I'm not a person that wears my heart on my sleeve. And even though I'm compassionate and caring, I don't have all those warm, fuzzy feelings that a lot of people that I know have, right? And so this book actually challenged me to my core and caused me to think about why I am the way that I am emotionally, and ask questions, of myself about my childhood, and did I build up any walls or shields, as they call it, to try to protect myself from some of the things that happened as a child that are still up today and preventing me from being seen or preventing me from becoming my best self. And I don't mean being seen in a boisterous way, but sometimes you hide your gifts and you hide your talents because you're uncomfortable with being in the spotlight, because maybe you were rejected or you didn't have the support that you needed or thought you should have growing up and things of that nature. And so anyway, the book really caused me to reflect a lot, and I thought to myself, I want to share a couple of the points that I got out of the book with you, because I believe that if it helped me, it will help you too, because we all, in order to be vulnerable, in order to live a full life, in some areas or some point, we have to learn to be vulnerable. And one of the things that I like from the book is, the author was saying, being vulnerable is not the same as oversharing. I don't know if you ever met anybody who would just tell all their business and tell everything. No, oversharing is not the same thing as vulnerability. Vulnerability is sharing your life and experiences with someone who has earned the right to be able to hear that information, is not going to use it to damage you or to throw things back in your face or to trample on your heart. When you overshare and you just share your personal information with any and everybody, case in point, social media, right? There's people who are vulnerable on social media, but they're throwing a post out there to hundreds and thousands or however many people that see their posts of people who probably don't even really care about them. And so they're sharing their personal life and experiences and wondering why people respond the way they do with quote unquote judgmental comments, right? And so there is a difference between vulnerability and oversharing. I'll just leave that there. But I do believe that it's necessary to be vulnerable. And one of the things that the author said was that there are 3 shields that we put up that kind of keep us from really being able to tap into our full life and really be vulnerable. And I jotted them down in my notes, so I want to share them with you. And if you can identify with any of these like I could, hopefully this helps. The first shield that we put up that we must let down is foreboding. And that is believing that when something good happens, something bad must follow. And sometimes we can get so caught up in thinking negatively that even when something good happens, because of our past experiences, we feel like, well, something bad is going to happen after that. And it prevents you from actually enjoying the moment. The second shield that needs to be put down so that we can make sure that we live a full life is perfectionism. And this creates an addictive and unrealistic mindset where you never really feel good enough. Sometimes done is better than perfect, okay? Sometimes done is better than trying to be the best. And I'm all for trying to be the best, right? And for perfecting your craft or whatever. But when it starts to make you feel like you're never good enough, I think you have to take a close look at yourself and say, why am I trying to make everything so perfect? Is there something in me that is broken that makes me feel like I need to outshine everybody. The third thing is numbing. And that's the third shield, and that's numbing. Blocking out all feelings to ignore shame, anxiety, and other feelings. This is the one that actually hit me right in the head, because I think as a child, with all the things I experienced, and maybe one day I'll share some of that on this this channel, but all the things that I experienced caused me to kind of feel numb, and I went through so many painful experiences as a child that I told myself, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. And I started to believe that I don't care, and then I became numb to certain feelings, and then a shield was up over my heart, so I couldn't really be vulnerable with people, and every relationship was surface. And so it took years and years and years, and I'm still getting better at this, to really be able to open up and not feel ashamed to be seen, or ashamed for, to do my best, or ashamed to, or anxious about sounding stupid, or anxious about things not turning out right, or whatever the case may be. I'm learning to express those feelings, and that they're okay. It's okay to feel those feelings, and it makes me very human. And so those are the three shields, and I don't know if any of those resonate with you. If they do, there's also 3 tools to help you put the shields down. The first one is practicing gratitude instead of foreboding. So instead of thinking about the negative thing that could happen, what about being grateful or thankful for something? It is impossible to be grateful and thankful and simultaneously dread and see doom and gloom. Those two thoughts cannot reside simultaneously. And so when you start being grateful and you start expressing that gratitude out loud, saying what you're thankful for, it begins to push out some of those other thoughts. And so it's so important to every day practice a lifestyle of gratitude. And I know you hear so many people say that, and it's because it works. The second tool to help you put down that shield and really begin to open up to enjoy your life is to appreciate the beauty of cracks rather than striving for perfectionism. Don't worry about what people will think about you, but rather saying that I am enough. Appreciate your cracks. And by crack, I'm not talking about drugs now. I'm saying the cracks in your armor, the imperfections in your life, the little quirks that you have. I realize that I have tons and tons of little quirks, and sometimes I would used to feel like embarrassed of it or whatever. And I'm like, for what? I am who I am. And who cares? If I'm a little quirky, you're going to like me for who I am. I'm going to be me wherever I'm at. I'm me at work. I'm me at home. I'm me at church. I'm me wherever I go. And so I can be free to be me and appreciate my quirkiness. And so appreciate the cracks. Appreciate the things that make you different. There's nobody else in the world who can do what you can do. And that makes you very special. And then when you say I am enough, you realize that your output is not a indicator of your actual value, right? So when you say I am enough, you're not striving so hard to be perfect that you miss enjoying the moment. And the third and final tool that helps you put down the shield that prevents you from being vulnerable and really enjoying your life is setting boundaries and finding true comfort by tapping into your emotions and being spiritual so you can equip yourself to enjoy your life. And I think that is so important. Set boundaries in your life. Don't allow people to be in the wrong seat on the bus of your life. Many people can ride the bus. It's your job to put them in the right seat. If you have somebody in the front seat with you who's not good for you, they're going to steer you in the wrong direction. And so boundaries are so important. And sometimes when you've had toxic relationships and you've had bad experiences and you have closed yourself off emotionally, it's difficult to have healthy relationships. And so you have to learn how to let your guard down with the right people. This is my first time sharing notes from a book that I'm reading. I'm thinking about actually instituting that into more of my videos and sharing some of the life examples, but also books that I'm reading to just share what I'm learning and how I'm growing with you, because I'm sure that each and every one of you watching or listening is also on a quest to learn and grow too, right? Because you wouldn't be listening to Cher's Motiphores if you weren't. Let me see if there's anything else from my notes that I want to share. One other thing I wrote down, it says, vulnerability sounds like truth, but it feels like courage. Putting yourself on the line does not always turn out the way you want it to, but it helps you grow. I'll leave with that. Have a great day.